So, this is going to be my first video. I want to call it What Happened Wednesday. This is What Happened Wednesday, Volume 1. So, if you read my last post, I asked, how do you deal with pressure? And I asked that because I said in fall 2011, I had like one of the worst points of my life. And you might have read that and you're thinking, I wonder what happened. Well, I'm about to tell you. So, to give you background before I get to fall 2011. Growing up, I was a smart kid. I used to get straight A's in class. And it was just like that's just what I did. Like I go to school, I get straight A's, and my mom never really like acknowledged that. Like it was just always yeah, good job. That's what you're supposed to do. But seeing like other kids, like oh you got two A's, oh you get this, oh you got some B's, you get this too, and it was weird. So I was like, well, I get straight A's. I don't really get anything. Like, I don't even get like a pat on the back or nothing. And I guess you could call it childhood envy or whatever. But that kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. And eventually I stopped being the smart kid just because I wanted to be cool and make friends or whatever, which is stupid by the way. But I started to like not care about school and uh, I didn't get straight A's. It was like, okay, you got to pick it up. You not, you can do better than this. That's the kind of mindset I started to develop like early. When I was really little, when I was like 5, I always thought I would go to Harvard and I'd go to school for free because it's school. You go to school for free. Why not, right? And it came time to go to college. I applied to Harvard and I got an interview and stuff, but I didn't get in. But I was fortunate enough to receive some scholarships from other universities. But I still put that pressure on myself to make sure, I'm going to school and I'm going to school for free. I don't want to be in debt or whatever. Uh, so this particular scholarship at my school now, I needed to maintain a 3.3. I said, all right, that doesn't sound too bad, right? So I finished my freshman year, my first 2 semesters with a 3.23. And they was like, okay, well, you get up to a 3.3 one time, like with a summer class. So I took the summer class, bam, I got 3.3 even. So I'm like, all right, I kind of get the hang of this. I could do this for like 3 more years, right? No big deal. So fall comes, this fall 2011, and I had 4 classes. I'm like, 4 classes? I just got through 2 semesters with like 5 and 6 classes. This ain't gonna be nothing. 4 classes, I got 2 Fs. And my final grades were basically BF, BF. And I freaked out. I didn't know how to handle that. And all the pressure I had been building up on myself, it just burst. It just started coming out. And I couldn't be like a normal person. It was really depressing. And I really didn't know what else to do. I started thinking about like, man, how am I gonna pay for school now? They're gonna take my scholarship away. Man, I can't pay for school. I might as well just go home. I'm in North Carolina. I might as well just go back to Chicago because I ain't gonna be able to have money to get back down here and pay for school. That's retarded, right? I might as well go home and just go to school. Well, how am I gonna go to home and go to school if I don't have money for school? I might as well just not go to school at all. I might as well just stay at my grandma's house forever and just, you know, work at McDonald's or something, whatever. All types of stuff because I've been telling myself since I was 5 that I'm finna go to school for free, and you can't tell me any different. And when I couldn't see the results that matched how I thought I was, like I thought I was here, but my results are like here. And when my results not up here with how I see myself, it was really I couldn't handle it. I didn't know what to do. Up until that point, me and my mother had a very strict, almost business like relationship. So anytime we talked, it was because I needed something or I did something wrong and she got to tell me what I got to do right, or she wanted me to do something, or she wants to know what my grades were. That was very, hey, what your grades look like? Oh, I got, just Okay, you gotta do better. So that's like all. That's pretty much all we talked about. And but when I knew that I was gonna be failing, like I was hurt, and uh, I sent her an email. I'm actually gonna read the email to y'all. I couldn't call her because if I called, I would have cried on the phone. We don't cry in my family. Like I've never seen my mother or my grandmother or anybody cry like ever. So I couldn't I couldn't be the first one to like cry in front of people. But I sent her an email. I sent this November 8th, 2011. It's 2 days before my 20th birthday. So here it goes. I'm sending you this because I'm stressed out and I don't know where else to turn. I'm upset with school because I know I need this scholarship and I don't think I'll get it. This has been the hardest little 3 months of my life. My midterm grades were awful. I only have 4 classes, and my only A was in discrete math, which I go to sleep in half of the time and probably could have taken at Beasley, my elementary school. Computer programming, I got a B only because I'm somewhat familiar with what we talked about since it's a continuation of my class last year. It's still hard, but I think I'll maintain, maybe improve if I'm lucky. I got an F in both circuits and differential equations. I wanted to talk to my circuits professor about things, but he was fired a week or two ago, and I never got the chance to. I've been slowly understanding things in the class, but doing horribly on the tests. Our most recent test, the whole class failed, though, and the professor and supplemental instructors decided to give us a retest. I overslept this class Monday, so I don't know what I got on the retest, but I think it was my best grade in the class so far, which isn't saying too much, but it's better than nothing. I told you I had a differential test today, and I tried to study what I could. I think I may have gotten 20 minutes of sleep this morning from 9 to 9:20 a.m., but I know I have been awake since about 7 p.m. yesterday. But out of the studying I did, the professor gave us a 4 problem quiz, and I could not come up with an answer to any other problems. Too embarrassed to turn it in, I just kept my test and left at the end of class. I know I'm going to fail this course because this is the second test. All that's left is one more test and the final. Each test is 25 points and the final is 30 points. So even if I get 100 on those 2 tests, I'll finish this class with a 55 out of 115. I don't know what I'm going to do. For circuits, we have a mandatory study class once a week during the night. It's mandatory we go at least once. My day is Wednesday, but I can also go to Tuesday and Thursday for extra help. I don't know where to get a tutor for differential because the class isn't on the list for the math classes that they have general tutors for. I feel helpless and I'm disappointed in myself for even being in this situation. I wanted to make you and everyone else proud, but now I'm lost. Please don't tell anybody. I want this to stay between me and you. And she basically replied, like real quick, and she said, she gave me a list of things to do. She was like, first thing you're going to do, you're going to talk to your academic advisor. And she's like, his office hours are 9 to 6. So you got to go sometime between then. And second thing I want you to do is get on your knees and pray. Pray for understanding and humility. This is the only way to relieve the stress. You are going to turn all your stress over to the way show of Jesus. And next thing you're going to do is go to church on Sunday. And like, though, it meant a lot to me because even though I could still tell she was like real strict and to the point, but she wasn't just saying, you got to do better. I don't know what else you're going to do if you don't do better. But she was like trying to help me get back up. And she knew I was down and she wasn't going to help me up, but she would tell me what to do to get up. And that's really what you need. You don't need somebody to hold your hand and grab you up. You can say, hey, this is what you can do to help yourself get better. And, that's what I did. I also had a lady friend at the time who was still dear to my heart. And we sat down at the reflection pool and I got to like talk to her in person about, everything I was going through. And that kind of supplemented, me telling my mom. I couldn't talk to my mom like on the phone about it, even though we did talk on the phone later, but being able to talk about it with somebody really helped me get through it. And she was just telling me like, she believed in me and she knew I could do better. And, just little stuff like that. I started thinking like, man, maybe I can do it. Maybe I've been too hard on myself all this time. So I finished that semester or whatever, with those Fs. But I came back in the spring and I felt relieved. Like I was like, okay, well, whatever. I don't have my scholarship no more, but whatever. I'm gonna just go to school and do the best I can. Not because I'm trying to get this 3.3 and keep this scholarship, but just because I want to do better. So, I went through all my classes and actually ended up with 3.26, which was 0.04 short of renewing my scholarship. And I didn't know I could renew my scholarship. I just thought once I lost it, I lost it. But they evaluated you every spring. So come to find out, I missed my scholarship by 0.04. And I was like, oh, dang, now I'm really have to pay for school. But seeing that I got so close, it wasn't like, oh, I should go home. I should not go to school. I should drop out or whatever. It was more like, you might not be able to get a 3.3, but you still a pretty good student, right? So, I just took that. I kept on, and I just been making improvements since then. And, life is totally different, in church all the time on Sundays and doing different things and just ready to love and give back. And that's just been what I've been going through. So I told you what happened and why. The point I wanted to make is that you shouldn't be a burden on yourself so heavy that you can't carry your own load. Like the world is already out to get everybody, each and every one of us. It's more of each individual has their own agenda. So you shouldn't be on yourself because you're not doing as well as you want to do. You have to encourage yourself. You have to speak up on yourself and pick yourself up when you're down. And you need to have somebody on your side, and that first somebody is yourself. Well, really, the first somebody should be God, but the second somebody should be yourself. Love yourself and trust yourself, and it's okay to fail. You just have to get up every time you fall. Like you can't stay down and get stepped on or step on yourself. You just got to pick yourself up and dust yourself off and keep going. So I promise you do these things, you'll see a difference. This was my What Happened Wednesday. Hope y'all appreciate it. And follow, like, comment, all that good stuff. Just do whatever works for you. One love.